The sun is setting. The air smells of damp soil and fallen leaves. Right now, as people turn off the lights and the city goes quiet, someone who lives by opposite rules climbs out of an old woodpile. A small silhouette, a sharp nose, bead-like eyes, a hedgehog. For M, night is day and darkness is home. He stretches his nose, draws in the air and listens. To us, this garden seems quiet, but to him it's full of signals. A worm rustles underground. A slug slides through the grass. Somewhere a ripe berry thuds to the ground. A hedgehog's world isn't visual. It's sound and scent. He doesn't see well, but his sense of smell and hearing are phenomenal. Those senses are his eyes, his map, and his compass. Tonight will be a long shift. Over the course of the night, he'll cover 2 kilometers. For a short-legged animal, that's a marathon. He's not an ambush hunter or pursuer, but a quiet gatherer of nocturnal spoils. His diet is rich and odd. Beetles, caterpillars, worms, slugs, snails, larvae, fallen chicks, carrion, anything he finds along the way. Sometimes even a lizard or a viper. He doesn't fear snake venom. The skin beneath his spines is thick and tough, and his body's resistant to toxins. He can withstand doses that would be lethal to many small animals, so a viper is just another dinner if he manages to sneak in and sever the spine. The spines are his armor and his pride. An adult hedgehog has about 8,000 of them. Each one isn't just a spike. It's a complex keratin structure with a fine hollow inside. That makes them light yet springy, like miniature springs. Beneath the skin runs a layer of muscle shaped like a bell. The moment he's alarmed, the muscle tightens, the skin pulls taut, the spines bristle, and he curls into a tight, prickly ball. He becomes a living hedgehog ball, a tiny armored car with no ears, no legs, no weak spots on display. Fox, polecat, dog, they've all tried and quickly backed off. The spines are rigid and prick from any angle. There's nothing to bite. He can lie absolutely still for hours, holding his breath until danger passes. But the armor isn't absolute. On the ground, it's reliable. In the sky, he has an enemy his spines can't stop, the eagle owl. This huge owl strikes without a sound, dropping from a branch, pries open the prickly ball with his talons, tears the flesh, and can even swallow a hedgehog along with the spines. Some of the spines digest, the rest the owl later coughs up in dense pellets. Under owl nests, people often find these strange balls with scraps of hedgehog skin, a grim reminder that even a coat of spines doesn't make you invulnerable. Still, those are rare cases. Natural predators account for only about 10% of hedgehog deaths. The true dangers are the ones we created. When a hedgehog is suddenly flooded with headlights at night, an ancient instinct tells him, curl up and don't move. What saved him from foxes for millions of years is fatal on asphalt. He doesn't run, he simply waits. And the car doesn't even slow down. Every year, millions of hedgehogs die under the wheels, and across Europe, up to 20% of the population is killed on roads annually. Most often, it's adult males, the ones who roam farthest in search of food and mates. That's how our hero's mother died when he was just 5 weeks old. He already knew how to eat on his own, and that's why he survived. But ever since, he avoids the smell of hot asphalt. And roads are only the beginning. The second big killer is poison. In gardens, people scatter slug pellets and insecticides. The hedgehog eats the slug and gets a lethal dose. Roughly 1 in 4 hedgehogs dies from poisoning. There's also urbanization, fences with no gaps, plastic-perfect lawns with nowhere to hide, water features with no way out. Hedgehogs get trapped in containers, drown in ornamental ponds, and are killed by trimmers and lawnmowers. Add in parasites and disease, and it becomes clear that today, the hedgehog's main enemy isn't the owl or the badger, but people and our conveniences. Meanwhile, our hero keeps following his nightly route. He rustles through the grass, stops, sniffs, and suddenly finds something fragrant, a bit of soap, a leaf that smells like tobacco, or a toad. He starts chewing the smelly source, whipping it into a foamy saliva. then arches and carefully smears the mixture onto his spines. Biologists call it self-anointing. Why he does it is still a puzzle. Maybe to mask his own scent, maybe to repel parasites, or maybe just to memorize a new aroma. Sometimes it looks like he's making his own perfume. The recipe is simple: a little toxin, a little grime, and a lot of curiosity. By dawn, he's full and a little tired, and now he needs a place to sleep. Hedgehogs rarely bed down twice in the same shelter. They change spots often so they don't attract predators or accumulate parasites. He picks a cozy gap under an old fence, drags in some dry leaves, settles onto the soft cushion, and curls up. The spines lie flat. His breathing slows. First birds stir, cars hum, and he drifts off, peacefully and deeply, until the next night. But autumn is relentlessly closing in. The nights grow colder, food becomes scarcer, and an ancient instinct whispers, time to find a winter apartment. For winter, the hedgehog doesn't make a temporary hideout, but a permanent nest. Thick layers of dry leaves and grass under a bush, in a compost pit, or in a hedge. He doesn't store food. His whole pantry is inside his body. Before hibernation, he absolutely has to put on weight. A youngster, at least 500, 600 grams, an adult closer to a kilogram. In sleep, he'll lose up to 40% of his weight. Metabolism almost shuts down. His heart slows. His breathing thins. His body cools, sometimes just above freezing. It's not death, but the deepest energy-saving mode, and a terrifying vulnerability. If a fox scents him in winter and digs up the nest, he won't wake up in time. Sometimes nature plays the lottery, and not every ticket wins. But our hero has won before, and he hopes luck will be with him this winter too. There's another enemy: good intentions. People pick up wild hedgehogs and bring them home. Give them milk. Hedgehogs can't have milk. Lactose causes severe distress. Keep them under a lamp, tame them, and then, when autumn comes, release them. Thin, unprepared for winter. Such a hedgehog is almost doomed. Fat reserves aren't there, his cycle is disrupted, and he won't have the energy for midwinter wake-ups during thaws. Domesticated dwarf hedgehogs are a different story. They were bred by humans and don't hibernate. But our hero is wild. His home is the night garden. His schedule is darkness, dew, and hunting. His salvation is warm leaves and the right weight by November. In his new hideout, he's already almost asleep. Outside, the sky pales. Birds stir. The first cars rumble. None of it matters. He switched off until evening. And at dusk, the story will begin again. The cautious nose, the long root, the whispering grass, the crunch of a snail shell, the strange perfume under the fence, the quiet encounter with another hedgehog, and the unmissable search for a fresh pillow. Night after night, step by step, season after season. That's how a hedgehog lives. Small, noisy, prickly, and astonishingly resilient. A master of survival.